Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Drewling Samantics.
Hello.
Oh, mate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, I better explain. Viewers, you can see for yourself that my dear
They
podcast.
can see for themselves. I don't look that awful, do I?
No, mate. It's pretty. You don't look that awful. I just know how awful you're feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's the lurgy, and you're suffering, and it hits all of us from time to time. But you have still been working through it, haven't you? You still soldiered on. You haven't given in.
Unbelievable.
And here we are.
I've carried on. I've been quite busy, relatively speaking. But yes, no, I do not feel tip top. I'd quite like to crawl into a hole and die, to be honest with you. But
if you could just sort of hang around for a little bit longer, because, I mean, thankfully we don't have to put too much upon you. You can't sit back and relax, but we do have a very wonderful guest joining us today who will take up the slack for us, and who is going to be absolutely delightful, I am sure.
yes, yeah, absolutely. It's not the end of the world. I feel a bit rough. It's neither here nor there. But as you say, fortunately, we've got someone far more entertaining than me or thee, and with a voice that doesn't sound croaky or just sound like you. So yeah, there we go. We're winning on all fronts, aren't we? So rather than making our begrudging listeners and viewers continue to hear me moaning and you trying to be sympathetic, would you?
With my bedside manner, yeah.
Should we just get our guest on?
I think we should, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present and to be joined by the wonderful Miss Liz Garland. And good morning and welcome to the wonderful, the beautiful, the incredibly talented Miss Liz Garland is joining us. Hello, stranger. How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much. What a lovely introduction.
Ah, well, yes.
I think it was thought about me, but there we go, Liz. You can have that one, love. Go on.
All right, fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the contrast you get between us is brilliant. But yes, we are joined by the lovely Liz Garland today. A colleague, ex-colleague, the friend of both of us at different times, and someone who is just annoyingly brilliant. And we're very, very honoured to have you here. It has been a long process to get you here because calendars in this wonderful vocation that we call work, but it isn't really. It's us being idiots on a stage or a screen. It does tend to make things difficult to organise, but we're here. We've managed to get the three of us available at the same time. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'm going to stop talking because actually people don't want to hear me talk. What they would like to do, first of all, is to hear you explain who you are, what you do, why you're here, and anything that is slightly related to that. Are you happy to do that for us, Liz?
Absolutely. So my name's Liz Garland, or Lizzie Garland, as a lot of people know me, as you two guys know me. And I am an actor, a writer, theatre maker, and speaker coach, amongst many of the other things that we end up doing.
I mean, how did you get into the business? I mean, I always ask this question because I love sort of hearing about people's training and backgrounds and what got you into where not where you are now, because that's taken a lot of work, and we'll discuss that momentarily. But what was it? What's your training, your background? How did you sort of get that springboard into the business?
Yeah. So I went to the Birmingham School of Acting from school. So I went there when I was 18, which I think now is the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire. And so I went there at 18, did 3 years, and then went into the business, which was wonderful and a huge shock to the system. I worked, I didn't work. did all sorts of things in between. But I think I got the bug really early on. I started dancing from probably 3 or 4, and then I think few years on, my mum sent my brother to drama lessons because he wasn't very confident, didn't like speaking in front of people. So obviously you send that child to a drama class.
Yeah.
And he absolutely hated it. But I would watch them through the door when we picked him up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely what I want to do. So I couldn't do both. I couldn't do dancing and drama. So I chose drama. And I think I decided from the age of 8 that I wanted to be an actor. I didn't really know what that meant. But we had a production of The Snow Queen that came round to my first school. And I still remember it to this day. And I just thought it was the most incredible thing I had ever seen. And I think it was sort of one of the catalysts to going, wow, you can do this for a job. And this is what I want to do with my life.
Wow.
So, yeah, started early.
A proper success story then. What you set out to do is what you're doing. That's not normal.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. And I think I definitely have to remind myself of that, because I think at times you go, oh, you look at the jobs that you missed out on, or you look at your peers who are further ahead, and then you have to catch yourself and go, actually, no, I may not be where my sort of ego a lot of the time wants to be, but I am doing what I set out to do as a little girl. You know, I am a working actor. Yes, a lot of the time I'm not in the rehearsal room, but I'm still a working actor because I'm doing things like this, or I am teaching, I'm sharing my skills in another way. So yeah, really, really good point there, Sam. Thank you.
Can we have that in writing? I made a good point, Drew. Did you hear that?
I'll note that one down. I'll go back to the dusty annals of Drewling Samantics and put it next to the last good point you made.
Thank you, mate. I'm on 2. We're keeping it.
I mean, it's interesting. I was listening to something yesterday. I can't remember. Zoe Lyons, the comedian, and she was saying she's a we talk about, and we're continually faced with like Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of stuff, and people putting out, I'm doing this, and it's very easy to sort of get, if you like, jealous, and we all know we shouldn't, because everyone's race is different and everyone does different stuff, and I mean, I would never get jealous of Sam or yourself, because we just do different stuff. And I tend now to be very pleased that people are working, because we all know how so damn difficult it is. But someone was saying, if you do get jealous, use that. It's actually a good energy, because it tells you what you want. And if you're in a moment, if you're sitting back and going, I'm a little bit confused, I've not got that job, I've not got that. Do I do this? Do I that? Blah, blah. A little hint of jealousy will go, actually, maybe you should be doing that, or maybe you should be doing more of that to get you there. And it's a very, it's a very good energy to have. And I'd never looked at that before, because I always thought it was a negative thing to sit there and watch someone going, you're like, no, actually, it can become a good kick up the backside to go, right, well, obviously you want that, or you want something like that. Bloody get on and do it. So it's energy. But you don't let the grass grow beneath your feet, Lizzie Garland, do you? I mean, if it's not one thing, you'll try something else. And we do have to talk. I mean, we've worked together in dinner theatre. We've done interactive dinner shows, which of course is how I met the lovely Sam Dunning there, and. I mean, anybody who's thinking of doing it or denigrates it, it is great work, and it's enormous fun, isn't it? I mean, we had some lovely times doing it.
We did a Blackadder show.
That's right.
In Belfast, didn't we?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. And it was, oh my God, it's so much fun, and I think, and it's such great training. Because you have to constantly be listening and responding to the other actor and to the people around you. It builds up your improvisation skills, and you have so much fun on those jobs. And we got to go to the Titanic Museum as well, which was brilliant.
We did, yeah. Can I just remind you, we stayed in that bizarre hotel. You had a sauna in your room. Do you remember that? You had a sauna in your bedroom. Yes.
Didn't we have a party in my bedroom? Not that sort of party.
No, we did. No, it's not a sauna party. No, yeah, we did.
Whatever goes on in saunas in Belfast.
Yeah, and I just remember big packets of Wotsits. I don't know why.
Yeah, big, yeah, and glasses of wine and crisps and Wotsits in your room. Yeah, it was an extraordinary hotel. I don't think the guy Melvin or Mervyn owned it, but it had the most complicated showers in the rooms ever. But yeah, we did get to go to Titanic and but play some really lovely places. We did turn up for a gig once early. Do you remember that one? I met you in the car park and you scuttled across the car park. Well, hello, Lizzie. It's not this week. We're a week early.
Were we?
It was a golf club in Fleet. I remember it. And we were a week.
Yes. Oh my God.
We were so keen. We turned up early.
So keen. We're such professionals.
I mean, I think people might dispute that slightly, but we'll let it go for now. But
we just followed the producer's instructions.
Yeah, having gone off on a tangent slightly, we'll move away from Wotsits and saunas and being very early. So obviously, the start of your career was very much as a young child going, this is what I want to do. That then materialised by doing your training, graduating. Were you straight into work out of training? Were you one of the lucky ones who did find stuff straight away?
Yeah, so I left drama school with a job. I did a tour of Arms and the Man.
Oh.
And that was brilliant. But then after that, I didn't work. And so I think I had that initial, I've left drama school, I've got a job, I've got a good agent, everything's just going to happen now. And then it didn't. And so I think it was sort of that, there was a sort of delayed reaction of what the reality is. And I don't think I was prepared enough at drama school of what it was actually going to look like. They said, I don't know, maybe 2 of you might go on to have a career and the rest won't. But you go to drama school and you believe that you're going to be one of the ones to do it. So I don't think any of us really took that in. So I don't think I was fully prepared for what it was going to look like after that job ended.
That's interesting.
I think we're all like that to an extent, though. And I think you can look outside of our industry and kind of go, well, people go to university and study a certain subject, and that's because that's what they want to do. But how many people do end up going straight into that? I mean, I think probably more for certain areas of work, and perhaps more so than what we do. But certainly we are in this heavily overpopulated, enormously competitive industry. And those of us who are making a living and getting by through life, not supplementing with something else, we're very lucky, but have worked very hard to get where we are. It sort of leads me on nicely because you've done some incredible stuff. So you were in Gangster Granny, for example, David Walliams' amazing piece. Was that Residential West End, or was that a tour?
So it was a #1 tour, and then we went into the West End for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
which was amazing. It was such a great play, and it was one of those jobs where the audiences were just there every night, and I'm sure we've all done plays where you have about 4 people in sometimes. So this was like such a luxury. It was amazing.
But from there, obviously, not everything has been at the high heights of West End one like national touring, and it does jump between and this is my very roundabout way of coming to where I was going to. The biggest thing to mention at the moment for you is talking about writing, creating your own work, which is something Drew and I have talked about a lot before, because we are in an industry where a lot of people will go, well, if it's not there in front of me, I need to put it there in front of me. And whether that is chasing down jobs, making connections, or creating the work yourself, it's a very important part of what we do, which is why right now, and where are we? So this will be released, well, we are the 3rd or 4th of April, something like that. We come out.
It'll be the 5th of April, Easter Sunday.
April. So hello everyone, welcome to the 5th of April. Ironically, we're recording this on April Fool's Day, just to really. So if it doesn't come out, this has all been a complete waste of time.
Or a huge joke, yeah.
Well, yes.
Is this the April Fool's on me that we're not actually doing this?
You've discovered it too early.
Oh, darn it.
But yes, so as of time of release, you are 3 or 4 days away from first performance of Becoming Simone, which is a piece that you are in, but also wrote yourself and have produced and created and done, well, the whole sort of write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, a bit of everything on. Tell us more about Becoming Simone.
So Becoming Simone is a play about a lady called Claire, who is in her 40s and she's really unhappy and she's dissatisfied with her life. So one day she wakes up and she leaves her comfortable home in Surrey and her husband that earns a massive salary, and she ends up walking all the way to Hull and becomes a whole new different person of Simone, who becomes a palm reader, and those predictions start becoming true. And I guess as a writer, the sort of things that I was thinking about is that question of who actually are we as people? Are we a product of everything that has happened to us in our lives that has sent us down a certain path? Or are we actually something that we create from like our imaginations, that is free from the responsibilities of family and societal expectations? So it's kind of that question, really. And I think as well, that phrase that people say is, you know more of yourself as you get older, is a really interesting one that I've been thinking about a lot. And I was like, well, do you become more of yourself, or are you just changed through all the stuff that has happened to you in your life? So that's sort of what it's about. But it's an hour long. It's hopefully quite funny and will bring people a lot of joy. So we ask these big questions within it, and we tackle some themes that, about loneliness, isolation, about that sense of belonging, about not being seen, feeling invisible, aging. And you can access it on those levels, but also it's just offering people a slice of fun and escapism, which I feel like we all need at the moment.
I mean, talking about sort of taking something from the page to stage, if you pardon that dreadful phrase, but for anybody that is producing work, and I mean, I do a little production myself, but producing, but we're within a venue, and it's totally commercial, and it relies on ticket sales. But you've chased down the funding, you've approached the theatres. What has that journey been like for anybody who's listening, who's thinking about, as Sam says, making their own work? What has that journey been like? The other side of the art, the practicalities.
I think that's a great point, Drew. And if I take you right back to the beginning of it, because this has been a 2-year process to get us to here. So I entered a 20-minute piece to Mayflower Studios for a scratch night. It was called Script in Hand, and you just sent off 20 minutes, and it was 3 actors. They'd give you access to a director and those 3 actors to work on it for a couple of days, and then we'd perform those 20 minutes to an audience. What would then happen is that they'd give you a couple more months to be able to write the rest of it, and then we'd perform it at a theatre called Stage Door in Southampton. So I did all of that, and I was given a wonderful director called Joe Billingham, who is the co-artistic director of Forest Forge Theatre Company in the New Forest. And when we came to perform it at Stage Door, she was like, I think there's something here. I think, the audience response has been good. I'd like to see if we could develop this further. And then Joe spoke with our lovely producer, Josh Watsize, who was working at Mayflower at the time. And we agreed to take it forward as like a co-production. So Mayflower wonderfully gave us some more money to be able to do a 3-day R&D. So to be in the room with some actors working on it. I also had some time with a wonderful script, a dramaturg, Ed Viney, who's a local playwright to me, who is wonderful. And he really helped me hone the script. So from that R&D, which was about a year ago, we all went, actually, I think we should look at taking this to full production. So we decided to do a bit of a pilot tour, first of all, to be able to test the material in front of an audience, get all of our assets together with our set, marketing, poster, create our workshop series alongside of it. So then we applied for Arts Council funding with the backing of Mayflower, Wiltshire Creative, Stage Door, Hampshire Cultural Trust and Forest Forge to be able to get where we are now. That's where we are.
That's mad, the amount of steps to it and the things that go into it that you don't sort of take into account.
Absolutely.
It's not as straightforward as going, right, I've got this great idea, I'm going to write it down, someone make it. And it doesn't just happen like that. And the amount of sort of build up and people that have to be involved and the funding, whether it's done through self or whether it is done through charities or other people becoming involved. It's such an enormous process. But so pleased to be able to say that you are at this stage. You are a few days away from it having its first sort of proper full performance. The tour is about to begin. And it's difficult to say because you could sort of go, well, where do you want to go from there? But you kind of, because you're still at the start of the performance process, you don't really know what you can do with it yet. But is there some sort of surreal element to it that this thing that you sort of did on a whim a while ago and this little idea you had is now suddenly about to become this production that's going to go out?
Yes, it is. I have to pinch myself sometimes, because, and also like, sort of harking back to something you said, Sam, about the process of it. Like if someone told me that it was going to take this long, I probably would have gone, oh, thank you very much, but no thanks. Because it, like they say, if you haven't got any work as an actor, they say, oh, just write your own play, put it on. And I was like, okay, great, I've done that. Why is it not happening right now? But it does take a long time. And I guess I would say to any actors who are starting on that journey, it's not a quick one, or at least for me, it wasn't a quick one. But to not be afraid of that, because actually, I think the play and our understanding of the characters, who I am as an actor, a writer, just as a person, I think my understanding of all of that has deepened, which hopefully has made the product richer. And I also think that finding people to collaborate with is like the most important thing. I couldn't have got to this stage without all of the wonderful people and all of the organizations who have sewed into this piece, who have sewed into me as an artist. And I'm so grateful. And what's lovely now is to see my nugget of an idea, which I brought to the table, and I'm seeing like our set designer, our stage manager, our sound designer, our actors, our director, producer, like taking that tiny nugget and creating something else with it, something far greater than I could have imagined. I was describing like being in the rehearsal room is like that actor's game of yes and. Like everyone comes to the table and goes, oh yes, and we could do this and we could do that. So that is kind of my pinch myself moment to watch all of these other wonderful creatives just be able to create something marvelous from this tiny thing that I went, should we do this?
I mean, it's a great legacy, isn't it? Because not only have you written a play that, it's going to go out to audiences, it's going to give it's going to give audiences a great time. It will be successful. We are backing you all the way. But
thanks, mate.
It's all that. No, but it's all that. It's, like you say, the other creators in the other room who may well have been sort of sitting. I mean, obviously they're successful. They're good at what they do. But there could be someone sitting there going, "I need a job," and they do that, and they go, There's so many times, and certainly actors who go, "Yeah, I really want this." And there's a legacy of confidence, of creativity, of work. And, the confidence that they have at that moment in time goes, "Oh, actually, I'll apply for this other thing, this other piece of new writing that I think I could tackle now because I'm doing this." I think we sometimes forget, and it is worth it, because there's that thing about actors, it just stops there. You do the play and it ends. It doesn't, because, you give so much. The little productions and the little time that Verona and I have spent producing stuff, we've seen people go on to do other things. It's not because of us, but at that moment in time, they're full of confidence. It helps, and we're confident. We think, actually, we could write something else now, and maybe we could do that next time. And then but it's so important that you're not just making work for yourselves. Mm-hmm. It's work for other people, and that then just it spreads out. It's a ripple effect, and I think it's so important that we forget that. And that's why when people say, "Oh yeah, but you're being given money to do that," yes, but you've got to remember that's not just an investment in this, in me, them, this prep. It invests in other people. Mm-hmm. They will benefit from that investment, not only an audience, and the theatres will benefit because they get an income, they get people in there, and it's very important to me at the moment. I've got this whole thing of like, who am I? What am I doing? Like you were saying earlier, you go, yeah, that's what I do now. I make that thing happen, and I'm very proud of that, and yeah, I like that now about doing that sort of thing. I do other stuff as well, and I love to sit back there and make money, if I get a chance, but also making something that, it's like what the I can't remember who it was, but the guy was talking about making pottery. He said, I make a cup, I fire that's I said, then I give it to someone else. They put it in a shop and they sell it and they make money, and then someone takes it home, puts it on a shelf, and they have a drink from it. They're no longer thirsty, and then when somebody else comes in that home, they give them that mug to drink from, and they drink from it. And then he said it starts with a lump of clay, a small nugget, but goes on to give so much. And that's what Becoming Simone is going to do.
I love that, Drew. It is a ripple effect, and it's being able to, I think, it's not just about the play, although, please come and see it. But it is about how the artists that you are working with, how they feel about it, how they feel about themselves after the production. And our director, Jo, she always says, it's people first. And I love that. And it's like, can we create a space which is just so welcoming and empowering for people? So yeah, great point, Drew.
No. Can I? Well, I mean, flip it on its head. I want to go a slightly different route, and I'm just intrigued. How do you deal with? And maybe it's never an issue, but obviously this is your baby. This is something that you started years ago, and it has grown, and it's wonderful to see things grow. But how do you, if ever, deal with feeling precious about things? Because obviously, when you start something, unless you have some sort of agreement or some sort of control, or you do every single thing, you produce, direct, star, one person show sort of thing, where you have full creative control, fuck that. Your face said the same as me. Don't want to do all the jobs.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. But how are there moments where you sort of have to tell yourself, I can't be precious about this? Or are there moments where you can sort of pull rank? Or how does that work? Having never personally been in the position you're in, how do you work around those sort of feelings and those elements of it?
Yeah, really, really good question, Sam. It's been a journey, using that word, with that. And I don't think I've quite figured it out. I haven't been to this level, I haven't been writer actor in the room. When I first did it, when we did that first script in hand, I wasn't in it, and I was just a writer in the room. And there were moments where I was like, oh no, it doesn't sound like that in my head, you know, about the actors. And I'm like, oh my God, no, you can't think like that. Because I would hate, as an actor, I'd hate a writer going, oh, you've got to say it like this. And who's to say I'm right? So it took a little bit to get that mindset shift with it. And I think there are moments within it because some of it, because it is comedy, some of it is written with a particular rhythm in order for the gag to land. So sometimes you have to be strict about that. But my director, Jo, is wonderful. Like, she's somehow in my head. And she will be able to go, no, I think we need to follow this rhythm quite closely, which has been great. But that has been a challenge. And I think at times, look, the actors that I have been so gracious of moments where I've maybe have the lines between actor and writer have been a bit blurred. And I'm just figuring it out. And sometimes I go wrong with it, and sometimes it's okay. Yeah, does that answer it?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Awful. Absolutely. But it's really hard. It's really hard. And I guess the more that I do it, the more I'll work out how to just be a writer and to let go of it. Yeah, I don't know. Has that answered your question? I feel like I'm massively rambling.
No, not at all. But
no, it's great. No,
what we do need to do,
but I mean,
actually promote properly, because this is your opposite. Yes. So before we forget to do it, and I'm sure it's what you were about to say as well, Drew, wasn't it?
I absolutely was.
We've talked about this wonderful piece, and you sort of flirted with some of the areas and stuff, but do it now. This is your big moment, Lizzie. Yes. Get it out there. Tell everyone where it is, where they can see it, when they can see it, and then we'll fill the audiences for you. Not that they would anyway.
Sweethearts. Right. I feel like I want to do a drum roll. So the first show.
Put one in an edit. It won't be great.
Yeah, we can put that in if you like.
Yes, if you can, please. She's very demanding. First show is 9th of April at Stage Door in Southampton. Starts at 7:30. Tickets are £10. What a bargain.
Yeah.
Second show, 10th of April at Forest Arts Centre in New Milton. Come on down. And then our next show is the 16th of April at Key West Studios in Gosport. So that's in a church called St John's Church. Beautiful venue. And that's where that is going to be. Also at 7:30.
Look at that.
Boom.
It should be a TV.
And then the West End will follow.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and they're on hold as we speak.
Fabulous stuff. Nice one. I mean, before we wrap up, you're not just a writer. I mean, you do some coaching as well, don't you? I mean, I wanted to have a quick mention of that, because that's another way of, the stuff you're giving, you're giving back. Tell us a little bit about your coaching work, because I find fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I guess it started with, I did a lot of role play, which I know like a lot of actors do. Mm-hmm. So I started doing like corporate role play and facilitation. And then from that, I ended up doing a bit of speaker coaching. And I worked with a wonderful, wonderful guy called Stuart Bewley, who started a company called Amplify. And it was all about helping people with their pitch technique. A lot of it was young entrepreneurs within the ed tech world. So I started with them, and then it just sort of went on. I had my own business for a little while, and then didn't have my own business. And then I work a lot with corporates. I've done a bit of charity work as well, just empowering people to use their voice. And then when it came to thinking about our community offering with Becoming Simone, I was like, well, the play is about a woman who doesn't feel that she can speak up in her own life. Why don't I use my speaker coaching experience and to be able to create some workshops for women at this moment, to be able to help them communicate with confidence. So that's looking at how we take up space, how we use posture to feel strong within our bodies, how we can free up our voice so our voices is strong using all our notes, and also how we deal with nerves, how we calm down that nervous system, and how we deal with that inner monologue that sometimes can be quite negative. So we've done 4 community workshops alongside the play, which have been wonderful. I cannot tell you how fantastic they have been, and to watch the women that we've had in the groups just sort of light up. It's been wonderful. And so we are looking at how we can roll those out further, because I think it's a really important thing. And it's so sad to me how so many people just don't have the confidence to be able to use their voice and advocate for themselves. So
I think it's dealing with the pressures, isn't it? And life comes at you in certain ways, and to have that confidence in a world that is so pressurized and you're almost competing to be heard, some people don't have the ability to do that. So to be able to take on this coaching and to be able to have these opportunities, it just makes the world of difference. So doing good all over the place, with whether it's comedic plays or helping people have a voice. Cannot fault you in either of those, and cannot fault the fact that you've given up your time to come and chat to us. It has been an absolute pleasure catching up. I mean, and there was so much more we could have spoken about. I mean, we shared the stage together in a workshop musical. We've done various other things, but what is sort of the overwhelming feeling is that despite you being so lovely and generous with your time, we are keeping you from prepping for something that is about to bloody start, and it's quite a big thing. It's a 2-year project, so we are very aware that you've got to get away. But Lizzie, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for
thank you for having me. I feel really honoured that you have had me on your wonderful podcast. So thank you both.
But do us a favour again, just run through the dates again and the locations for Becoming Simone, so we've got that nailed in so people can get out there and get tickets before they all sell out.
Oh gosh, yes. So everybody, it is 9th of April at Stage Door in Southampton, 7:30. It is the 10th of April at Forest Arts Centre in the New Forest, 7:30. And also on the 16th of April at Key West Studios in Gosport, once again, 7:30.
Look at that, newsreader and everything, basically.
Oh, is it fantastic stuff?
I've been a radio DJ, so I use that term loosely. But yes, that was my best radio.
The BBC have a slot opened up that they may need filling. We won't go into.
Yes,
but yeah, if you're looking, BBC, we may have found your next radio DJ. Lizzie, again, thank you so much for coming to join us.
Thank you.
All the best with Becoming Simone. I'm sure it will be absolutely wonderful. And come back on in the future after that's happened and it's gone massive and you've taken it all over the place and we've done all sorts of things. Let's have another catch up in the near future and see how things are going. But thank you again for joining us, and good luck with the rest of today, because I know it's going to be a busy one for you. Every day is now, isn't it, up until release?
So much, Lizzie. Take care. We will. So Sam says we'll get you back. You'll come back and tell us all about it. All right.
I'd love to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sam, I mean, we say it every time, but what a lovely, wonderful guest, and how honest and how detailed that was about that whole process of getting, Becoming Simone off the ground. And we wish us so much good luck with it. So much good luck.
Oh, absolutely. Another brilliant guest. We knew Lizzie would be brilliant anyway.
Yeah,
Having worked with her and known her for a number of years. And I think it's quite refreshing to sort of see that side of things. Like she is one of the lucky ones who has created something and it is going on to much bigger and better things. But there's none of that sort of, well, of course it has that. There's no arrogance or expectation to it. It's genuine hard graft and passion for what she's created has got her to this point. And it is fascinating to hear all those little elements of it and the other sides of it. And
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot of production, you write stuff and you create things. It's never really been something that I've gone into to the same extent. Not to say I wouldn't in the future, and there are always ideas running around in everyone's head, and it's
Absolutely,
you
mate.
try and do something with those. But yeah, kudos to Lizzie to be able to pull off what she has and create this incredible show. And yeah, just another fascinating and entertaining insight into an element of this business that keeps it running and is becoming more and more prevalent with the lack of enough work to go around everyone. You've got to create, haven't you?
It's got to be done. Yeah. This whole thing of that kicked up years ago. Is the business viable? Well, we are proving it can be by being, as you say, by creating it, making it work. So yeah, well done, Lizzie. Well done, Lizzie Garland. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously you've all got those dates and times now. So if you're able to travel, if you are nearby and able to go see the show, you do know
Absolutely
what to
right.
visit. It will be fabulous.
Well,
Now,
yes,
almost the end, my friend.
we've got a couple of minutes left, haven't we? But no, I know what you mean. I know.
So entertaining.
Frivolous.
If I wasn't dying, I probably would have found that funnier. But I think I've done all right to get through this far.
I've got to applaud you, mate. Yeah, well done, matey. I
assure you, when we come back next week for our final episode of the season, obviously not including the best ofs, which we're very much looking forward to as well, but I will be far more human and sound less. I mean, I don't know. At this point, obviously, I haven't done the edit because we're recording this, so I can't edit what hasn't been. But I don't know how I sound. I may sound awful. People I may not even know the difference. I may sound this stupid all the time. To me, I sound horrendous. But
I think you sound great, mate. You sound all right. I mean, for those people that are listening, you will. I think it has a certain gravitas to you, mate.
Oh, is this a Phoebe from Friends thing where she gets ill and then all of a sudden her singing sounds a bit more sort of special and she tries to stay? Because I am not going to try and stay ill. I don't like being ill.
I'd say no. It's not a benefit at all. It's just saying to you don't sound as bad as you think you sound, and we got away with it, mate. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if we hadn't mentioned it, people may not have even noticed.
They may not have noticed. No.
That aside, next week is the final Us episode of season 15. Where has the time gone? No idea.
Where has it gone? Yeah.
So tune in for that one, and then obviously make sure you come back in the following weeks from that for our best ofs, looking at the highlights of this wonderful season, including, I'm sure, some bits from this episode. So you get to listen to this episode, then have a week of just me and him rabbiting all about some shit, and then we'll have a best of guests, and Lizzie will be back. So yeah, I mean,
there we go.
What more could you possibly want from us?
Yeah, right. Well, Sam, I'm just hoping that. Yeah, I'm just hoping next week, mate. I see that smile be a little bit brighter. You're a little less croaking, a little less feeling like shit, and you feel back to Mr. Dunning that we all know and love. So, mate, have a good rest. I know you can't because I know you're very busy, but yes. When you can, have a little rest.
To be honest with you, mate, not next week, but when the other stuff comes out, we'll have worked together again, won't we? So you're hoping I'm better, so I give you the lurgy. We got a lurgy together.
Yeah.
But more about that in the near future.
More and on. Brilliant.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you once again to the wonderful Liz Garland for coming along and chatting to us about Becoming Simone, amongst other things. And yeah, we'll be back next week. So have a good one. We'll see you then. Cheers all.
Cheers everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thanks again for watching this episode of Drewling Samantics.
Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.
Don't forget, we're also available as audio only. Just search Drewling Samantics in any good podcast app. And please support us on social media. All our links and handles are on screen now.
We love welcoming new followers and subscribers, so why not share with your family and friends so they can join in too? Thanks very much. See you next time.